women seriously for what they can contribute? I mean, if you think about it, the oldest democracy in the world, the UK, the largest democracy in the world, India, the most embattled democracy in the world, Israel, all have had women leaders. The greatest democracy in the world, the United States, hasn't. We finally came close last year in that we had a serious female candidate in a primary, but that's as close as we've ever come. And then when you look at our percentages in elective office across the country, it's really sad. Part of that, I will say, is because women don't support women in the way that they should. I've always held the theory that it's because it's much more personal with us. There are not so many women up there, and so when they screw up, it's much more reflective on me. And so I want to make sure that whoever that woman is, that she's absolutely perfect, that she's got every credential you could imagine. And that's a mistake. We can't let ourselves do that. Maureen Reagan used to say that she would know when we'd reached equality when we're able to elect to office women who are as unqualified as some of the men who are already there. Now, I don't recommend that. That's not something I'm shooting for, but I understand what she was saying and where she was coming from. So diversity in the workplace, diversity in the public space are very important to the long-term health of our institutions. And the world is not going to get easier. It's going to continue to be complex. It is going to get more complex as we go forward, and we need all those different voices to be heard. Who was on the initial board of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which was a new way of doing foreign aid, that one of the most troubled countries, the poorest countries, one of the key criteria was education of women. How well did they educate their women? Because if you look at any program that does microloans in developing countries, if you give that loan to a woman, you get it paid back better than 90% of the time. They spend it more profitably than most of the men. They create jobs and they create economic opportunity. And that's why you see so many of these programs, whether it be providing clean water to a community, is focused on women, and on cleaning up indoor air is focused on women. Because if you give women better health, if you give them education, they really use it. And they make a difference in the economic stimulation of their communities. That's not just true in the developing countries. It's also true right here in the United States of America. And we need to be always looking for the opportunities. Doesn't mean picking somebody just because they're female. It means if you have a good qualified female or minority, you bring them up, because it's important to have their voice at the table, whatever the issue, whatever the challenge that you're facing. To have that diversity will lead you to a better outcome and a better position, policy position, than you will have if everybody in that room looks exactly the same and has come from exactly the same background.